It's time to go inside the mega events with some of the biggest names in the trillion-dollar world of sports. Let's go beyond the scoreboard with the sports professor, Rick Horrow.
I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow. Welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, Inside the Mega Events. It's a trillion-dollar sports business, to be sure, and about 50 to 60% of those dollars are wrapped up in the mega events, the championships, Super Bowls, All-Star Games, World Series, Wimbledon, tennis majors, golf majors, NASCAR championships, IndyCar championships, Ryder Cup. All of those too numerous to mention. I'm in my office to kick off the show, but I'm not here a lot. I'll be on the road on a weekly basis to bring you the inside tips from those major events. The balance sheets, who wins, who loses, the interviews, how you put on the events, and how you sustain them. This is all brought to you by Edelman Financial.
Money doesn't come with instructions. That's why we created Edelman Financial Services to help you with everything from college and retirement planning to managing your investments, helping you achieve retirement security. We're among the nation's top financial advisors. Come see how we can help you.
Sports professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, spotlight on mega events across the pond as well. Well, yeah, I'm going over there to Northern Ireland. I guess I got to check out Royal Portrush in Belfast. But look at what I missed. First of all, an incredible Sunday in London. Silverstone, the Grand Prix of Britain. Hamilton wins it on his way to yet another championship. Economic impact nearly $1 billion. But wait, at Lord Stadium, a major cricket upset. England wins the World Cup for the first time. The cricket championship against New Zealand. The overs, the super overs, in a match that will never be forgotten in England. Even if in the United States, it's basically an afterthought. Well, how about Wimbledon? Not only the Serena Williams and Halep on Saturday, but the Djokovic Federer on Sunday. Incredible. The business increases about 30%. The two roofs with the two courts and great new areas with increased concessions. So from a business perspective, it's obviously a home run. Now, Royal Portrush, $11 million in total prize money for the men, and the total men that win the British Open, and $2 million for the person that does. Is it Tiger? Is it Rory? Coming up from his course in Hollywood, only about 20 minutes away. Well, I'm going to play them all, so let's figure it all out, and I'll let you know. And then finally, the Women's British Open at Woburn, the first week in August. Their prize money is about $600,000 for the winner. It's nowhere near the men, but it is increased like never before, and the economic impact is there as well. And oh, by the way, the World Cup in France shatters every mark. Most important, the ad age numbers continue to come in. 87% of the men advertisers sponsor the Women's World Cup as well, which means better and more is on the way. So when you take a look at the international games, don't just think cricket, don't just think soccer. Think about the other events like tennis. Think about the Grand Prix, obviously golf as well. It is an incredibly busy month, even busier across the pond. Sports professor Rick Horrow. We know that. Sports professor Rick Horrow, inside the boardroom, Beyond the Scoreboard. We're here at the general site of the 148th British Open. It is Royal Portrush. But we're here at Hollywood Golf Club, the home of, as we know, from the primary parking spot here of Rory McIlroy. And the last time the Open was played here, none other than Max Faulkner, you know him, the favorite, won in 1951. And the guy who is driving a lot of this, he'll be understated, but he's an Ulster coach. He's the head professional at Hollywood Golf Club. Stephen Crooks, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the weather's been fine. The tourism here is outstanding. We were told that the increase in tourism will be about 40% or even more. The infrastructure is incredible. They've increased flights. The sellouts for the tournament have been great. What have you experienced here? First of all, how far is the Hollywood Club from Royal Portrush?
It is a 90-minute drive.
Okay.
So we're reasonably close. A lot of people are staying in Belfast because it's so accessible to Portrush.
Right.
But accommodation, you can't get a hotel room, so it's extremely popular and it's great to see.
And so thinking about this as a long time from when the RNA originally considered this, and then the course improvements that were done at Royal Portrush, it's been a big economic boom for Northern Ireland too, has it not?
Oh, absolutely. As you know, and as you can see, we're such a small country,
Right.
and to have one of the biggest golf tournaments in the world here, with over 200,000 people coming in to watch this magnificent event, is huge for the country. Everyone is getting, as you say, great business from staging this event. And hope it comes back again.
Well, it should come back as part of the ROTA, given
Yeah.
all the things that have been happening as well. And so when governments make a decision to spend money on infrastructure, they do it because of economic impact. This is a little bit different. Troubles years ago, nobody hides from it, but there needed to be some kind of an image overhaul as well relative to what Northern Ireland offers the world. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Because only in the last 2 weeks has been the marching season and bonfires, and in years gone past there would have been a lot of trouble in around these dates, and we certainly didn't want this leading up to the Open with visitors coming in. So I'm glad that a lot of that is gone away, and I hope it stays away for a very long time. And the golfers in this country have certainly helped put this country on the map, and it takes away what has happened in the past when you have these sporting legends doing something which is great, and it's obviously good to see.
Talk about, and we'll get to your man in a minute, but talk about junior golf and talk about what this kind of event means to golf in Ireland generally, Northern Ireland in particular, and junior golf, both on the girls and the boys side.
Yeah, well, as you talked about the infrastructure at Portrush, a large part of that is getting, kids go free, which is great. So they get to watch their sporting heroes, and then inside the ropes they can go and get free lessons, and they're doing lots of games for kids to promote the game of golf. And we have over 490 courses, I think, in Ireland, and I think most courses are still crying out for more junior members. We're very fortunate that we've actually got a cap on juniors at the minute.
Yeah.
We're in a very popular situation, and obviously with having Rory as our hero, we're fortunate. But I think after staging this event, I think people watching on TV and going to watch their sporting heroes, I think is obviously going to drive golf even further for Ireland, and hopefully with 600 million viewers around the world, then everyone will hopefully pick up a club at a young age and start playing.
Well, the 600 million is important, but just let's not gloss over what you said. This is a really relatively small country. You can get from one side of the country to the other 2, 3, 4 hours.
Yeah.
450 golf courses. It's incredible. And nature made it, but you guys took it to the next step.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. I must try and play them all one day. But
I don't think you have time, pal. You got to make money here.
I don't think so. But, okay, and, for Northern Ireland, they have Graham McDowell, Darren Clark, and Rory, and then obviously down south we've got Shane and Podrick doing ever so well, and there's a few young ones coming up through. It's great. Ireland, I don't know what fraction size it is of America, but we produce a lot of golfers, and golf is a huge sport, as is baseball and American football in America. Everyone kind of wants to play it, so it's great.
All right, let's talk about the role model aspect of it. We have some American athletes on American television and all that joust over whether or not an athlete should be a role model. You look at how Rory McIlroy has inspired a whole group of people, this generation, the next generation. It's beyond question that he's the Pied Piper. I guess Darren Clark is the first, and obviously you've got others. But talk a bit about Rory's role and influence in Irish, Northern Irish golf and Irish social structure as well.
Yeah, I think it's been huge. I've been fortunate enough to know Rory since he was 11, growing up. So I've seen him as a young teenager, growing up right through and turning into the person he is today. And obviously his bank balance has changed, but as a person, I think he's got better with age too, because he's extremely mature. He speaks so well off camera, off the golf course. He seems to keep himself pretty right, and that not only goes unnoticed, around here, but also worldwide. And to have a role model like that in Ireland is huge, and I think that's what makes him so popular.
Yeah. We have some rowdy fans here. We're trying to do a legitimate interview, but there are some, and they're Americans. But we'll control that behavior. That's okay.
Americans being loud? Are you sure?
Americans being loud. Look, yeah. Are you being cynical about Americans? That's okay. That's not a problem. So but your perspective about Rory's worldwide marketability as well. You know him as the 11-year-old kid who grew up here,
Yep.
and we know him as a worldwide celebrity. So, you surprised?
No, not what he's achieved. His first 5 years on tour was pretty spectacular, and he came out of the blocks like a young Tiger Woods nearly. I'm not surprised. I think from a young age, I heard the name before I met him.
Yeah.
For 11, 12-year-old, that's pretty unusual, to be honest. This young kid at Hollywood, you got to see him. He's unbelievable. And then when I saw him up close first time and watched him play, it was pretty special. And then I've been to many of his first tournaments when he was an amateur and first term pro, and he was just different level than the amateur I've seen. But the biggest attribute I could have given him at that age is his work ethic was just, it was greater than any other junior I've seen at that stage, and even since then. So that's what I could really compliment him on.
Let's finally talk about the business of golf in Northern Ireland today, and let's talk about 5 years from now. What's your prediction? The economics of golf course business here, tourism. Predict the whole package 5 years from now.
I think the whole package will be different than the previous 10. I think there was definitely a lull in Irish golf about 10 years ago, and I think in around 2010 to 12 it was a bit low, and then it's gradually getting better with the Irish Open and Portrush in 2012, and then Port Stewart a couple of years ago, and then obviously having the Open now. But if we can get the Open again on the Rota in 5 to 7 years time, I think we talked about the 600 million viewers there on TV. They're going to come and play.
Yeah.
I think the feedback this week has been spectacular in terms of not only the golf course, but how well people have been treating the tourists and the places to go and sightseeing and the hotels and the bars and stuff. So I think the whole package is there, and in 5 years' time, I think we're just going to get busier and busier, and we certainly could do with the revenue, that's for sure.
Your mouth to God's ears. We have a jet overhead. We have rowdy Americans. We have economics. We have junior female golfers. All the things that symbolize success long term are right in front of our eyes.
Apart from the rain,
the rain symbolizes Northern Ireland too. Stephen Crooks, thank you very much. Really. Sports Professor Rick Horrow. We're here at Hollywood, and we're not here in Hollywood, California. This is about an hour down the road from Royal Portrush, 148th British Open. They call it the Open here, obviously. Last time it was held in Northern Ireland, Max Faulkner won in 1951 at Royal Portrush. And now, look where I am. It's Hollywood Golf Course and the hometown hero. This is the parking space. The club executive, the treasurer are over there. Rory McIlroy, he's over here. Not doing too well this week, but let me tell you about the tournament. 40% increase in tourism, economic impact of over $100 million. They're talking about 20% increase in food, restaurant, taxis, transportation as well, and also the infrastructure for airlines in and out. We've got 2 major airports plus Dublin. And here's the other thing. 30 years ago, we talk about the Catholic and Protestant troubles, capital T. Nobody's hiding from that here, but the bottom line is it's a lot different than normal events where they have to overcome image issues. They really do here. They want to be part of the regular rotation for the British Open, and the first time it's held in Northern Ireland in nearly 60 years, over 60 years, certainly is going to help. Economics, yes. Tourism, yes. Infrastructure, yes. Image issues, yes. Rory McIlroy, he revolutionizes golf at his home. Didn't do so well in this tournament, but certainly this tournament is doing well and deserves to be on the regular rotation. Rick Horrow, Royal Portrush, Hollywood Golf Club. Speak with you soon.